Khushbu from Santa Clara office. Welcome everyone. Good morning. Today's topic is financial statements, and we would like to explain to you what consist of financial statements, how to read and analyze these statements, and what are the tools that we use to read and do the analysis. Let's begin with the first slide. It says what comprises of financial statements. Financial statements are essential tools used to analyze a company's performance. The financial statements of a company record important financial data on every aspect of a business activities. As such, they can be evaluated on the basis of past, current, and projected performance. So financial statements, as such, they can be evaluated on the basis of past, current, and projected performance. Management utilizes several techniques to determine a company's financial condition and make decisions regarding improvements. There are three main financial statements that every company creates and monitors: the balance sheet, the income statement, and the cash flow statement. Companies use these financial statements to manage the operations of business and also to provide reporting transparency to their stakeholders. All three statements are interconnected and create different views of companies' activities and performance. These will be explained in detail in the next slides by my colleague Akshay Parekh, who uses these financial statements. Financial statements are used by shareholders, executives, employees, investors, potential lenders such as banks or vendors, and any other person or institution that needs to analyze a company. Who are creditors? Creditors are bank loan officers and bond rating analysts ascertaining company's ability to pay its debts. Investors, these are stock analysts and assesses company's efficiency, risk, and growth. Management, business owners and managers analyze, control, and improve their firm's operation by using and analyzing the financial statements. Guarantors, business owners use related analysis to determine their personal financial position. What is the purpose of the financial statement analysis? Why is it so important? Understanding the purpose of companies' financial statements and how each of the three relates to one another provides important information for company financial analysis. In general, financial statements are centered around GAAP, which is known as Generally Accepted Accounting Principles in the US. These principles require a company to create and maintain three main financial statements: the balance sheet, the income statement, and the cash flow statement. Public companies have stricter standards for financial statement reporting. Public companies must follow GAAP standards, which requires accrual accounting. Private companies have greater flexibility in their financial statement and also have the option to use either cash or accrual accounting. Intuitively, this is usually the first thing we think about the business. We often ask questions such as how much revenue does it have? Is it profitable? What are the margins like? These are the main aspects of income statement. Now let's move on to the balance sheet. In this section of financial statements, we will evaluate the operational efficiency of the business. We will take several items on the income statement and compare to the company's capital assets on the balance sheet. With the income statement and balance sheet under our belt, let's look at the cash flow statement and all the insights it tells us about the business. The cash flow statement will help us understand the inflows and outflows of the cash over a period of time. We are looking at over a period of time that we are looking at. Many investors consider the cash flow statement the most important indicator of a company's performance, and it's hard to imagine that until only recently companies didn't even have to file a cash flow statement. Today, investors quickly flip to this section to see if the company is actually making money or not and what its funding requirements are. So, what are the tools that we use to analyze the financial statements? Several techniques are commonly used as a part of financial statement analysis. Three of the most important techniques include the horizontal analysis, the vertical analysis, ratio analysis, and trend analysis. Horizontal analysis compares data horizontally by analyzing values of line items across two or more years. Revenue and expense accounts are examined to determine the changes from one period to another. These changes are usually expressed as a percentage. Vertical analysis means looking at a company's financial statements in a single financial reporting period. Typically, all the revenue and expense items on the income statement are reported as a percentage of net sales. Vertical analysis looks at the vertical effects line items have on the other parts of the business and also as the business's proportion. The traditional tools used to analyze the financial statements. Ratio analysis examines four aspects of a company's financial condition and performance, which is profitability, liquidity, financial leverage, and efficiency. Ratios are calculated for a series of reporting periods to identify positive or negative trends over time. A company's ratio can also be compared to the benchmark ratios that are reported by other firms in the same industry. The comparison of a company's ratio to industry statistics gives an indication of whether the business is underperforming or overperforming to its competitors. And last but not the least, the trend analysis. The comparison of three or more financial reporting periods can start to identify a trend. Management is especially interested in trends. For example, managers like to see trends, sales trends going upwards and expense trends going downwards. These are favorable movements that lead to increased profits. Thank you so much. Income statement, balance sheets, and cash flow statements. Income statement is pretty much showing us how much the profit and loss that company is making. For example, you have $100 and you have cost of $50, then the balance $50 is your profit. This is what the income statement will show you. Balance sheet is more dependent on the capital and the assets that has been employed in the business. And the cash flow is pretty much explaining you what you are getting, how much money in an inflow and outflow has been done during a period of time, and how much revenue has that generated, and what's your cash position at a certain period of time. All these will be explained in higher detail in the coming slides. So definitely that will give more information. Okay, Akshay, all yours.
Yeah, thank you, Khushbu. And good morning, everyone. Good afternoon. So this is Akshay Parikh from Atlanta office. So I am working with the firm since I joined the firm in September 2017, and it's almost almost 3 years I am working with the firm. So today's topic is like what are the basic financial statement and what are the use of the financial statement, what it says. So there are basic financial statement, balance sheets, income statement, statement of owner's equity, cash flow statement, and notes to the financial statement. All these statements are interrelated, and whenever we have to analyze the financial statement, we have to use all the statement. Not So I will go one by one, I will go on balance sheet. So the purpose of the balance sheet is to reveal the financial position of a business on a specific point in time. The balance sheet is used to determine if the business has enough working capital to sustain its operation. It used to determine the net worth of the company. A number of ratios can be derived from the balance sheet, which helps investor get a sense of how healthy and strong the company is. There are many ratios like current ratios, liquid ratio, debt equity ratio, which can be used by the investors and the lenders. Investor needs the financial statement to assess the viability of investing in the company. Financial institution use the financial statement to decide whether to grant a loan or to extend the credit to a business. Financial statement institution assess the financial health of a business to determine the probability of the bad loans. Supplier needs financial statement to assess the credit worthiness of the business and ascertain whether to supply goods on credit. Supplier needs to know if they will be repaid. So and also the internal management use this financial statement for their like how to improve their process, how to generate the profit. So they use like all the user of the financial statement use the use and analyze on their own requirement. Balance sheet says about the like reflects the company's assets, liabilities, and shareholders' equity. Company's asset, what you own, means they can either be sold or used by the company to make product or provide services that is being sold. Liability means what you owe represent the amount of money that companies owes to other like creditors, financial institutions. Shareholders equity also called the capital or network. This is the difference between your assets and liabilities. Assets are further divided into current assets and non-current assets and investment. Current assets are those assets which are convertible to cash or consumed in the operation of the business in less than 1 year. Example of the current assets are like inventory, accounts receivables. Non-current assets are long-term assets. For example, property and equipments, goodwill, intangible assets. Liability on the other side also divided into current liabilities and long-term liabilities. So current liabilities are like those liability which can we have to repay like paid in less than 12 months. Basically, it includes the liability towards the payroll, liability towards the creditors, sales tax liability. Everything is covered under the current liabilities and long-term liabilities like a loan from the financial institution. Income statement. The income statement shows for a stated period of time the total amount of revenue from sale of product or services, the total expenditure involved in running the business, and finally the profit and loss and earning per share. It reflects how efficiently the company has utilized its resources in the form of material, manpower, and machinery. For example, if the company has production capacity of 1000 units of product A and company only produce 500 units, that means there is an underutilization of the available plant capacity. That leads to idle capacity, excess inventory, unutilized manpower, and ultimately the lower profit, or in some case may incur the loss. So better and efficient utilization of the resources leads to better profit. The portion of income deals with the income statement deals with the operating items which disclose information about revenue and expenses that are the direct results of the business operation. The non-operating item disclose revenue and expense information which are not directly related to company's regular business and are non-recurring in nature. For example, profit or loss on sale of plant or old assets or investment. So, and there are few ratios like the gross profit ratios, net profit ratios, and return of investment are calculated based on this income statement. And all analysts like investor, stakeholder use these ratios to assess the company's performance and financial strength of the company. Statement of owner's equity. This statement reports the change in equity in the balance sheet during the accounting period. It reports the events that leads to an increase or decrease in the owner's equity over a given period of time. Increase by issue of the stock, like owner's contribution, and like an increase due to the company's profit during the year. The reduction in the sense of like if you owners withdraw, or like there is a dividend distribution, or due to the loss during the year. Equity statement in the corporation consists of commonly like common stock, preferred stock, premium on common stock and preferred stock, and retained earning balance. Cash flow statement. The statement of cash flow reveals how cash is generated and expanded during a specific period. It is very useful in the evaluation of the cash position of a business. Cash flow statement reveals whether the firm's liquidity, short-term paying capacity is improving or deteriorating over a period of time. Cash flow statement helps in planning the repayment of loans, replacement of fixed assets, and other similar long-term planning of cash. It is also significant for the capital budgeting decision. Cash flow statement allows investors how a company's operations are running, where its money is coming from, and how money is being spent. It helps the investor determine whether the company is in a strong financial position. Creditors, on the other hand, use the cash flow statement to determine how much cash is available, referred to as like liquidity for the company to fund its operating expenses and pay its debt. Cash flow is divided into three activities, which is cash flow from operating activities, cash flow from investing activities, and cash flow from financing activities. Cash flow from operating activities start with the net profit before tax, and then certain adjustments are made like interest paid, received, dividend received, depreciation, profit on sale of fixed assets, change in working capital. After making all these adjustments, there is like if positive, there is a like cash generated from the operation. If there is a negative, cash utilized in the from operating activity. Cash flow from investing activity includes cash generated and expanded from sale, purchase of fixed asset and investment. Interest and dividend received on investment is a part of investing activity. Cash flow from financing activity includes proceeds from borrowings, lease finance, and repayment of borrowings. Payment of interest and dividends are part of the investing activity. Notes to financial accounts. Notes to financial account is an important part of the financial statement because like it provides important details about the company's financial condition not reported in the actual financial statement. That includes information about the operation of the company, various accounting policies and methods used for recording and reporting the transaction, more detailed information on various components of the financial statement, like if you see the balance sheet, like for example, if they mention like against the property, see note number so and so, then you have to refer the notes to the financial that gives more detail about the property, more detailed information. Notes to accounts also includes the detailed information about the related party transaction. It shows like nature of the transaction, also provide the total value of the transaction with the related party. It talks about the contingent liability, which is like a liability, obligation, or potential loss that may occur in the future depending on the outcome of a specific event. So that disclose the contingent liability. All this information is very important when you are analyzing the financial statement and when investor, stakeholder, or creditors, finance institute all use this financial statement for their different purpose.
So again, myself Kapil Handa, I'm based in Atlanta. I'm a CPA with the firm. Born in Amritsar, raised in Jalandhar, from the state of Punjab. moved to Canada, lived in Canada for 3 years, loved the country, hated the snow. When I moved in 2005, I had the luxury of this weather issues because I got married in 2008. So there was no issues, no kind of managing the internal house at that time. There are about 20 to 50 million businesses in this planet and maybe 30 million plus in US. And all those businesses exist, for to fulfill some of the world's needs that are there. And of course, at the end of the day, they also want to make some profit out of it. So that's where we are. And there are some ratios. Again, the businesses uses these ratios, as mentioned by my colleagues earlier, to just see where they stand as of today, where they stand in compared to the prior year, where they stand in comparison to the industry. So they just want to know exactly if they are in business, are they making money or not, are they relevant or not. Take the example of profitability ratio, right? So profitability at the end of the day tells us if the company is making money or not. To give you an example, take a gross profit ratio. Gross profit ratio, every time you buy an Apple iPhone, which is $1,000 phone, to make that phone, including all the engineers' salaries, the direct cost of goods sold for Apple is $600. So for $1,000, their direct cost related to that phone is $600. So they make $400 as a gross profit every time they sell one iPhone. And then, of course, they have all these other expenses like payroll, rent, utilities, name whatnot. And once we deduct that, at the end of the day, they have about $200 left over for every $1,000 of phone that they sell. Believe it or not, 20% net profit in today's competitive world is a very, very healthy ratio, and not many companies can sustain that. But Apple has done that over the last 20 years, and it continues to do so. And that's profitability ratio. Now let's go back and talk about liquidity ratio. So what is liquidity ratios? Again, it tells us, do we have enough liquidity to meet our short-term obligations? Do we have enough cash coming from the customer, banks, whatever, from the financiers to sustain? Take an example of current ratio as maybe you want to take it and consider as your regular semi-monthly or a monthly paycheck. Take an example, you think there's $1,000 coming in as the paycheck that you receive, and then you have we all have expenses like rent, mortgage, utility, groceries. Hopefully they are about $900, and at the end of the day we are able to save $10, and hopefully we invest in 401ks and all that. But the question is, my paycheck, what I'm getting, ideally should be more to meet my current expenses so that I'm able to sustain myself. So that's similar to the current ratio for the business, where they want to make sure their short-term obligations are met with their short-term income. So that's one of the ratios that I want to touch in. So now let's move on, maybe touch on the leverage ratios. Again, there are many leverage companies, we see that, but leverage can be good and bad, and leverage varies from industry to industry. So take the example of a hotel motel client, where typically if we are doing debt to equity ratio, so debt is the loan that they're getting, and equity is the money as owners all the partners are putting in. If let's suppose there's $1 million venture and they are putting in $250,000, $750 is coming from the bank. So we know there's a $750,000 I obtain from the bank, $250 is my own money. So there's a 3:1 ratio, which is debt to equity ratio. So debt is my bank loan, equity is my money, my own money. So which in the capital intensive industry is very, very high. Whereas if you take the similar example and move it to, let's suppose, IT industry, which typically is a very cash rich industry, they are able to make decent margins, they have not much debt, and again in that case we have seen zero debt, zero point 0.5 debt to equity, 1 debt to equity. Again, because they are not very capital intensive, so they don't have to invest a lot in the assets. Give you an example of leverage. If somebody follows India, again in India before COVID, there was a big drama that happened on this finance industry. What they did is all these small finance companies, they borrowed short and lent long. What I mean by that, so what I mean is, let's suppose they had $1 million that they borrowed from an investor, and they said, you know what, we will renew and we'll pay you this $1 million after 3 years, whereas they are lending the same money to a guy like me who is trying to buy a house in India and saying, you know what, here is your 20-year mortgage, pay me in 20 years, just keep on paying my principal interest and you're good. All story good so far, but the challenge comes after 3 years. The company is struggling. Company is not going to get the money from the customer they gave and lent to 20 years mortgage. But here, the guy who lended me the money is not willing to renew because he feels like, I don't have enough cash flow. So again, leverage can be good and bad, but prudent people, rational people can really make good use of it. And person who is not very disciplined, leverage can kill them. Turnover ratios. So what is a turnover ratio? Now, turnover ratio basically tells us how efficiently we are managing our operations. Take an example. Somebody has $100,000 inventory, and that company A is having a sales of 300,000, 100,000 inventory. They sell it, the same inventory, over 3 times in a year. They're able to get $300,000 in sales. Whereas company B has same $100,000, but they're able to take it and rotate it for 6 times and has $600,000 as sales. So definitely company B is better than company A because they're able to rotate more. Similarly with AR turnover ratios, where we are trying to see how quickly we can collect cash from our customers. Ideal case, we see net 30, net 60, net 90. These are the terms that we hear in the industry. And in AR turnover industry, the best industry you can think of is maybe insurance, where I'm buying the health insurance or car insurance and I'm keep on paying them the premium all my life. And who knows, when I need the help 10, 20, 30 years, at that time they come back and support. But all these years, they were always running as a negative working capital. They never had the AR. They always got the money first, but they have to service later. ALN was a good example in that, where I buy the ticket today. I was flying after 3-6 months to my family. Not a good example to discuss today on the airline. But yeah, those are the things on turnover ratios. Really quickly, market value ratio. So what is that? So again, we know at the end of the day, all these entrepreneurs are trying to make it through. For every Amazon, we know there are million other Amazon that fail. So they are not the people who work 9 to 5. They work maybe, who knows, 9 to midnight, 22 hours a day. And all these pain they do, and they struggle all these years to hope that one day their company can kind of become more relevant, do great for the country, and also pay them some good rewards for which all this effort would be worth. Again, take the example of Microsoft or Apple. A typical market valuation of a fairly valued company is considered to be 15 times earning. What I mean by that is, if any company is making $100, so $1,500 is a fair valuation that company can be sold and the entrepreneurs can take an exit and make their life happy. However, if we take the example of Microsoft or Apple today, maybe they both are trading above 30 times earning. Are they undervalued, overvalued? That's a topic for some other day. But that's all from my side.
Let's proceed with the budget. My name is Elvira Padernal. I work in LA office under the finance group. Been with the firm since 2005. In accounting, budget is a quantified financial plan for a forthcoming accounting period. It is an organizational plan stated in monetary terms. What are the types of budget? Types of budget is master budget, operating budget, financial budgets, capital, and flexible. A master budget documents, can you move the slide, Kishko? It documents specific short-term operating performance goals for a period, normally 1 year or less. The budget or plan normally includes operating and financial budgets. Operating budgets are established to describe resources needed and the manner in which those resources will be acquired. It normally includes sales, production, personnel, and selling and admin budgets. Financial budgets define the detailed sources and uses of funds to be used in operations. Financial budgets define detailed sources and uses of funds in operations. An example of that is the financial budgets normally include cash budgets and pro forma financial statements. Move to the next slide, please, Kishko. Comprehensive cash budget falls under the financial budget. Capital expenditure or CAPEX budget detail the planned expenditures for capital items such as facilities, equipment, new products, and other long-term investments. It identifies and allows management to evaluate the capital additions of the organization, often over a multi-year period. Next slide, please. Flexible budget. It represents adjustable economic models that are designed to predict outcomes and accommodate changes in actual activity. Revenues and expenses are adjusted to display anticipated levels for achieved output. The good thing about it is that it can display different volume levels. However, it is highly dependent on the accurate identification of fixed and variable costs. Next slide, please. Why do we compare actual versus budget? The performance of different units or departments in an entity or the entity as a whole may be evaluated using a budget. Examples of these are the operating and financial budgets. The CAPEX budget is an example of the tools used by management in creating business strategies such as expansion of facilities or acquisition of fixed assets or placing of investments. So you basically use it to formulate your business strategies. As mentioned in our first slide, a master budget is an annual business plan of an entity. It helps management decide whether to include or exclude certain business activities. An operating budget might assist management in determining areas of operations which needs to improve their processes. Management may also use budget to validate the effectiveness of newly implemented processes. Next slide, please. Variance. Variance is the difference between a budgeted, planned, or standard cost and the actual amount incurred or sold. There are two types of variance. A favorable variance indicates that the variance or difference between the budgeted and actual amount was good or favorable for the company's profits. In other words, this variance will be one reason why the amount of company's actual profits will be better than the budgeted profits. Unfavorable variance is the exact opposite of this. Favorable expense variance means that the actual expense incurred is lower than the budgeted amount, whereas favorable revenue variance means that the actual income earned is higher than the budget. A variance analysis is the quantitative investigation of the difference between actual and planned behavior. This analysis is used to maintain control over a business. Next slide, please. What are the reasons for the variances? Since budgets are based on assumptions, it is possible for errors to occur, hence inaccurate budgeting. Changes in market and economy. A perfect example of this is the pandemic. Everybody's budget is shut this year because of this unexpected change in the economy. Hence, definitely there will be a lot of variances if you look at this year's against budget. Client or customer acquisition. When you gain clients, your budget will be affected because obviously you'll gain more. When you gain more clients, your sales will be more. Whereas when you lose a client, definitely your expected sales will be less than your budgeted income. Employee fraud. Variances can give you red flags of frauds, but it's not a usual. It's not a foolproof way of identifying it. It's like a lead-in where you can see where the fraud may be occurring.